Can't stop, won't stop, get guap. 10 white toes and them toy flip-flops. Manicures and pedicures, I'm always tip-top. When they say I'm not hot, all these lies need to stop. Cause I'm ice.
Hey loves, long time no see. I feel like I'm always saying that. Welcome to another episode of Diva's Discussion. And first thing I want to say is Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully I don't post this too late. So today we're going to be talking about how you're about to make 2026 your bitch. And I know that's a little vulgar or whatever, but basically what I want to say is you're about to have your way in 2026, and I'm about to show you how you can step into that. The first thing I have on my list is change your attitude. Your attitude, your perspective on things, that matters so much. It's important to pay attention to your thoughts. It's important to pay attention to stuff like, do I normally have positive thoughts or do I normally have negative thoughts? Are you an optimistic kind of person or are you a pessimistic kind of person? Are you a glass half full or are you a glass half empty? Which there is no right or wrong way to be, but I definitely think that perception is everything, and how you perceive the things around you can kind of have a drastic impact on your overall well-being or your attitude about life. So it's important to have the right attitude because there are going to be ups and downs. Life is about ebbs and flows, and you need to be able to roll with the punches and not let life get you too down. You have to at least find it within yourself to believe that okay, even if I did experience this, even if I did experience some negativity or toxicity or trauma, that's not the only thing that life has to offer me. There is happiness, there is joy, fulfillment, there is a good feeling out there, whatever you want to call it. So all of that starts with you and your perception and your overall attitude about things. So if you have the wrong attitude, you need to change that now. Another thing I want to mention when it comes to paying attention to your thoughts create feelings, and feelings create manifestations. What I mean by this is, let's just say you have the thought that you're not good at something. You kind of have negative thoughts about yourself, that you can't achieve something, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not capable enough, strong enough, whatever. So if you constantly have those thoughts are going to give you the feeling of distress, feeling distraught, feeling unmotivated, feeling like you don't want to try, or maybe you're stuck in a fear-based mindset. Once you have those feelings are going to manifest into you never taking a risk, or never thinking outside of the box, or never trying that new thing that you wanted to try, or never even attempting to try to reach the goal that you had in mind. Hopefully this makes sense. Sorry if it's not making any sense. That's why I'm trying to talk slow, so I make sure I'm gathering my thoughts properly. But pay attention to your thoughts. Your thoughts are everything. And one thing I will say, your thoughts are not truth. So just because you think something doesn't mean that's you or it's true or whatever. Sometimes you kind of just have to observe your thoughts like clouds in the sky, where you're okay, you see a cloud in the sky and then it goes by. So it's you can think something, pay attention to it, but let it flow through you. You don't have to fixate on it or keep feeding into it or keep giving that thought attention, especially if it's a negative thought. Your mind is going to come up with positive and negative thoughts, and your reality is dependent upon which thoughts that you are paying attention to more. Are you paying attention to the thoughts that's yeah, you can do it, you can go for it, I think if you stay disciplined you can achieve this and you can have these things, or are you paying attention to the thoughts that are no, you can never achieve that, you don't have enough, you're not smart enough, you're not cute enough, you're not good enough, whatever. So the thoughts that you give more energy to or pay more attention to, that's going to be reflected in your reality. So be mindful of that, where your reality is a reflection of the stuff that's going on in your mind. Have a little attitude cheat code. Having the attitude of gratitude. I promise you that has genuinely made me love life that much more, just when I sit back and be grateful. Obviously, I'm not where I want to be right now in life or whatever, or I don't have everything that I think I want, but I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm content with the life that I'm living. I'm content with, going to school and driving my 2008 Ford Focus. Obviously, she's not the end goal. I do want to upgrade or have a nicer car or whatever, but that's okay for where I'm at right now. And it's about just being grateful. Like, you might not have everything that you want out of life in this very moment, and that's okay. Everything will come in time, but it's something to be said about just being happy and being grateful for where you're at, period. Trust me, having the attitude of gratitude is just gonna make you a lot more content, a lot more balanced, and just a lot more happy and pleased with everyday life. It really is. Trust me on this. This next one is kind of gonna be like, duh, but give yourself grace. I know everyone says that you gotta give yourself grace. You gotta give yourself the grace you give others. And yes, everyone always says this. It's kind of a cliche at this point, but honestly, for real, give yourself grace. Understand that you are human. You are a human being. You're not a machine. You're not meant to be perfect. You're not without flaw or error, any of that, and you shouldn't strive for that or try to achieve that. We are flawed. Human beings are not perfect. We are going to make mistakes. We are going to mess up. We are going to hurt others at some point in time, and it's okay. Obviously, don't go out of your way to hurt people. Sometimes, sometimes people just get hurt just because of circumstance, but yeah, don't go out of your way to like hurt others or harm others, obviously, but it's just a part of the process. As long as you can learn and grow from your mistakes or your flaws or your shortcomings, that's all that matters, is that you're trying to be better than who you were yesterday. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself. You don't have to. It's not that serious. It is, but it isn't at the same time. Because sometimes when you pressure yourself too much, you just, I don't know, you kind of drive yourself crazy a little bit, and that's not going to get you anywhere closer to where you want to be. So if you fall down, don't beat yourself up. Don't stress yourself out. Don't be, oh my God, you're so stupid. How could you make that mistake? Like, babe, it's okay. You don't need to talk to yourself like that. And also pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Do you have positive self-talk or do you have negative self-talk? No point of making yourself feel worse or feel like crap about a situation that you made, or a situation that you were in, or a decision that you made. Even if it's a past decision, baby, get over that. Forgive yourself. You didn't know what you know now. It's no point of beating up younger you who didn't even have all the knowledge in that very moment to make the choices that maybe you wouldn't make today. But once it's in the past, you just kind of gotta, it is what it is. It happened. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you move on. It's no sense of just racking your brain or just trying to torture yourself. We truly are our own worst enemy sometimes. Like, your worst enemy could not compare to you, yourself. So don't become your own worst enemy. Do not torture yourself. Because sometimes people feel like, oh, deep down that they may like deserve it or whatever. No, you don't. No matter what you did, no matter what mistakes you made, you don't deserve to be unhappy, or need to be able to take it on the chin and move on. We're not taking the, oh, I'm so dumb, or I'm so stupid, or I can't do that, and I'm not good enough, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. We're not taking that type of self-talk into 2026. Leave it alone. That's not doing nothing for no one. Not doing nothing. If you make a mistake, okay, I made a mistake. What's something that I could have done better? That's the type of self-talk you need to be having, instead of, oh, well, I'm just so dumb. Of course I wouldn't know. Like, stop that. A quote that I'm kind of like really gravitating towards right now is that I can do the hard things. Because sometimes when I think about some of my goals that I want to achieve, I'm like, that seems hard. I'm like, that seems kind of hard. But it's like, you have to remind yourself, I can do the hard things. I can do the difficult things. I can achieve that type of stuff. Okay, ladies, this next one is a big one. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. And honestly, I kind of wrote this for myself because I don't necessarily think I chase perfection, because I understand that I'm human and I can't be perfect. But sometimes I think I chase right below it. Like, I don't know, if I'm like, let's say for content, for example, because that's what I'm kind of like struggling with, like being consistent with. Sometimes I'll have an idea and then I'll be like, like no one wants to watch that kind of video, or like no one's going to be interested in that, or, oh, I don't like the lighting today, or, oh, it's cloudy outside, or, oh, your face is breaking out, or, oh, your hair is not done, or whatever. Like, I talk myself out of filming, or even if I did film, I talk myself out of editing and posting, oh, I filmed that in the summer, it's winter now, like how is that relevant or whatever. Like I'm not chasing perfection, but I think I'm just nitpicking myself so much to the point to where it prevents me from even putting out anything, because I'm always like, oh, this or that, and I don't like this, and I'm just like nitpicking too much. Sometimes chasing like a certain image that you have in your head, it can prevent you from even trying. It can prevent you from even starting, or even just being like, you know what, I'm gonna give this an attempt. So it's important to just not do that. Don't chase perfection. It does not exist. As humans, we are perfectly imperfect, if anything. But yeah, don't allow your obsession with perfection to prevent you from actually going for it, because more often than not, it happens that way. And I'm not gonna lie, this next tip I did learn from Miss Leah Alexander. Yes, I be keeping up with the Leah Lations. I don't play about her, period. I love her content. But something that she said in one of her videos that really stood out to me was, your creation just needs to exist, and then you can make it good later. That really resonated with me, because like I said, and this kind of falls under the don't chase perfection, but sometimes you can be so like nitpicky about something that it just prevents you from even trying or creating or attempting or anything like that. So sometimes you just kind of have to get it out there, even if it's messy, even if it's chaotic or disorganized or not your final vision or not your final version. Sometimes you just gotta let it live, let it exist, and then as time goes on, you can tweak it and refine it and make it better and really make it what you want. But you have to start from somewhere. And that's like another quote that I really like is, everyone has to start from somewhere. Like everyone's got a day one, so you got to start from somewhere, and it might not be perfect, and that's okay. It's just the beginning of the journey. You have time to build on it and to make it what you really want it to be. So basically, in 2026, we're not chasing perfection. We're chasing progress and consistency. And progress is going to look different every day. Consistency is going to look different every day. Just make sure that you are showing up. Your best is going to look different every day, but just make sure that you are showing up for yourself. Okay, this next one is kind of going to be a big one. This is a little different. I feel like I don't hear people talk about this too much. Know when to take a back seat. And you might be like, girl, what are you talking about? And basically what I mean is, at the end of the day, no matter what, there's always going to be someone that's bigger and badder than you, okay? There's always going to be somebody that's cuter than you, got nicer clothes than you, drive a nicer car than you, has a nicer home than you, take more lavish trips than you. Whatever you want to say, whatever category it is, there's going to be someone that has more of it, more money, whatever you want to say, more education, more opportunities, more resources, all of that. There is always going to be someone that has more, or that's in a better position, or that's further along or evolved, or whatever you want to call it. But you know what? That's okay. And if you come across someone like that, or you feel like, man, this person, they have this on me, or they're more established in this field and whatever, take that as an opportunity to learn from them. That shouldn't threaten you. Someone that's bigger and badder than you, whatever, that shouldn't threaten you. And another thing I want to mention, when I say better, I don't mean that they're a more superior human to you. No, because none of us are superior, inferior to each other. Okay, the only person that's above us, obviously, is God. And we're up there with God, okay? We all down here with each other. So no one should ever feel like, oh, I'm better than, or ever feel like you can look down on someone. No. No one is superior or inferior to anyone. We are all down here on this earth together. Okay? Anyways, I just have to clarify that. But that's what I basically mean. But if you feel like someone got more money than you, got better opportunities than you, or flyer than you, got a nicer car, whatever, take that as an opportunity to learn from them. Damn, how did they get that? Or how did they get there? Or how did they get to that place in their career? Take that as an opportunity to learn from them. Be curious. Spark up a conversation. Ask questions. Figure it out. Don't see it as, oh, well, they driving this, or they got this, and oh, they think they better than me, and getting in your feelings and getting insecure. No one said that they're better than you. That's what you thought, so clearly you think that. And I hate when people say that, oh, she must think she better than everyone. Did she say that out her mouth? Sometimes I'd be like, did you hear them say that? Or are you just getting insecure? The call is coming from inside the house, babe. You think they're better than you. That's what it really is. But yeah, that shouldn't be a threat to you. That should not threaten you. It's just like, okay, they might have a little more than me. What can I learn from them? What page can I take out of their book? What knowledge can they offer me? And I'm not saying to use people as a means to an end, obviously, but don't be afraid to make that connection or to spark up a conversation just because someone got a little more than you. That's just the way life works, and it also goes both ways. So just as easy as someone can be bigger and better than you, you can be bigger and better than the next person. You can have more resources, opportunities, more education, more money or whatever than the next person. So it literally goes both ways, but that shouldn't threaten you or make you feel some type of way. See me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, just trying to make sure I stay on topic. Coming across someone that's bigger and better than you, that should inspire you, period. I feel like this one is kind of self-explanatory, but maybe some of us don't know. Ladies, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. It's not enough to just be pretty. Don't get me wrong, being beautiful, being pretty, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, and it can definitely get you in certain doors. It can unlock certain opportunities. People might treat you in a more favorable way. Get it all, ladies. But understand that you need to have more than just your looks to rely on. And not because, oh, looks fade. You might look good in your 40s, your 50s, 60s, whatever. And that's fine. But there needs to be more to you than just, oh, that's a pretty face. Because something that looks pretty, that's just decoration. You don't want to be no decor. Okay? You're not a plant in the corner. You're a human being, and you have your own thoughts and feelings and desires and wants and goals, whatever. So being pretty is not enough. Definitely, as a woman, pay attention to your looks. Invest in yourself. Invest in your looks. And I don't even mean it in a vain way of like be too invested into your looks, but take some type of pride in like keeping up with yourself, whether that means like, you know, doing your hair, having your nails done, taking a shower, putting on your little makeup or whatever, like whatever that looks like, whatever keeping up with yourself looks like for you, because it's going to look different for all of us. It's just putting time into that, but it's also make sure that you are enriching your mind, make sure you are learning, make sure you are getting your education, make sure you are just learning in some capacity. You don't have to go to formal higher education. You don't have to go to college, but maybe that looks like getting your license, getting certified, taking a class, starting a course, learning a new hobby, learning a new skill, just literally whatever that looks like for you. It's just investing in your mind, investing in your education, investing in just learning in general. Expand your mind, challenge yourself, chase learning and enrichment. Invest in your mind. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, and that's a true fact. Okay, ladies, in 2026, we are calling our power back to ourselves. This is our life. We are in control of our life. Take ownership over your own life. Life truly is what you make it. Life doesn't have to be a thing that just happens to you. You can make life not bend to your will, because life is always going to life. There are certain things that you just have no control over, but the only thing that you have control over is yourself. Lean into that. Lean into taking ownership over your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. Just take ownership over yourself. Okay, so I have two examples of how you can think about life. You can think about life as like a car. In a car, there's obviously a driver, and if it's your life, you should be the driver. At no point should someone else be the driver. I mean, obviously when you're a baby or when you're younger, it's like your parents probably were the drivers of your car. You're not independent yet. So once you become independent, then that's kind of when you like take over. But that's the only time that you should worry about someone else driving your car is when you're a child, when you're a baby. It's like you rely on your parents, you rely on like whoever is taking care of you. But once you are in the driver's seat, you need to stay there, because this is your life and you always want to remain in control of your life. You cannot control what happens to you. That's not within your control. However, you can control how you react to things and what steps you take after something happens. That is something that is always going to be within your control. If you don't like the driving analogy, you can think of life as like a movie. And in a movie, there's a main character. I would hope in your movie, in your life, you are the main character. There should be no reason why you're an extra in your own life. That don't even make sense. This is your life. You are the center of your life. Or at least it should be like that. And if you got somebody else playing the main character in your life, and if it's not your kids, because I get it, if it's like if you're a parent, like you might see your kids as like the main thing in your life, or like that's like your world. So I'm not talking about that, but if you got your friends, or if you got strangers on the internet, celebrities, your man as the main character in your life, something's wrong with that. You need to be the main character at all times, especially if you single and got no kids. Why are you not the main character? Even if you did, like I said, even if you did have a man or you were in a partnership, you need to still be the main character because this is your life. Take control of it. And this one kind of might go over people's heads a little bit, but take accountability. There is so much strength in taking accountability, and taking accountability allows you to call your power back to yourself. So many times I just feel like people kind of just like, oh, well, this wouldn't have happened if they didn't do this, if he didn't say this, or if she didn't do this, or if I didn't do this, or if my mama didn't put that perm in my head when I was 5. I feel like people always, I mean, granted, you can't control that, you're a child, but I feel like people kind of always want to point the finger or put it on someone else. And even in situations where things might not even be your fault per se, not look for your own faults, but like look for where you could have did something different, or look for where you could have made a different decision or something like that. Like you need to be able to reflect on yourself like, damn, this turned out this way, but instead of me automatically being like, well, if she didn't put us in this situation and we wouldn't be here, instead of automatically jumping to pointing the blame or pointing the finger to figure out whose fault it is, ask yourself, damn, what's something that I could have did differently? Maybe I didn't have to go out. Maybe I didn't have to suggest this, or maybe I could have mentioned this, or whatever. Like you need to be able to take accountability, because when you do that, it allows you to call the power back to yourself. Stop freely giving your power, your control over to others. That's not theirs. Take accountability. Okay, this next one is another big one. Be ahead of the curve. It's not enough to just keep up with the peers. You need to be ahead. You need to be ahead. And honestly, how you stay ahead is when you stay focused on yourself, stay focused on your own goals, your aspirations, your dreams. When you stay in your lane and mind your business, mind the business that pays you, you will see how far you will really go. By focusing on yourself, protecting your energy, pouring into yourself, investing into your dreams, your goals, or whatever that looks like for you, investing into your own self-happiness and self-fulfillment, that's how you stay ahead of the curve. Because a lot of people are worried about what somebody else doing. And that's why people be stuck. They be in cycles. They be in loops of the same situations because they're so worried about the next person, the next thing, the next situation, what celebrity drama, gossip and stuff is going on, whatever. When you really, I'm like, I'm just going to worry about me. I'm going to build my skill set. I'm going to refine myself. I'm going to try the things that I want to try and go after what I want to go after. You really be surprised how far you will go. So stay ahead of the curve by basically staying in your own lane and minding your business. Also, don't outsource your intuition. Every one of us has that gut feeling. It's up to you to listen to it. Learn to trust yourself. Get to know yourself. Trust your intuition. Stop waiting for others to validate you, your goals, your visions for yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to co-sign. You don't need a co-sign. You don't need a co-sign from your partner. You don't need a co-sign from your friends. You don't need a co-sign from people on the internet, strangers on the internet. You don't need a co-sign from your parents, your family. The shit just needs to make sense to you. How about that? How about it don't need to make sense to nobody but you? What do you want to do? This is a life that you have to live, no one else. The choices you make, you have to live with them. So you better make them for yourself. And this one is for my people pleasers. I've never been one, but I know they're out there. The only person you should be aiming to please is yourself. And I'm gonna say that again. The only person you should be aiming to please is yourself. And that might sound a little selfish, but honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with being selfish. As long as you're not being selfish in a way that harms or hurts others, I don't think there's anything wrong with being selfish. I think a lot of us would probably be a little bit better off if we learned how to be a little selfish, how to take more time for ourselves, how to pour into ourselves more, how to pay attention to ourselves. That type of stuff, I think we would all be a little bit better off, but you shouldn't be trying to please nobody but yourself, because first of all, people are never happy anyways. You can't make someone happy. You just can't. And it's not your job to make anyone happy. And if anyone is telling you that it's your job to make them happy, stop being around them. Stop being around them, because what? It is no one's job to make you happy but yourself. And if you're spending all of your time making other people happy, so who making you happy? I hope the people that you're making happy are also making you happy. But if you're just making them happy and they're not making you happy, what are you really gaining? And now how do you really feel? Probably feel drained, exhausted, and depleted. Leave that in 2025. Leave the people pleasing in 2025. People are never pleased. Let's start there. People are always going to have something to say. Focus on pleasing yourself and doing things that make you feel good, make you feel happy, that make your soul smile. And the last thing that I have to say is take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time, however you want to look at it. Take it one day at a time. Rome was not built in a day. I love that quote because it just reminds you that everything doesn't just happen all at once. Things happen progressively, gradually, slowly. Things build, they come together, and then one day it's whatever it was supposed to be. But that doesn't happen all at once. Another quote that I really like, and I actually just recently seen this when I had my tea in the morning, it said that nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And I love that because it just reminds us to slow down. Sometimes I feel like America maybe is such a fast-paced country overall. Like, you know, there's instant gratification. Like if we want food, it can show up on our doorstep in 30 minutes. If we want to go somewhere, like we can just hop in our car, we can hop on the plane. Like everything is just like fast over here. And sometimes I think it makes us feel like life is fast, but life is not. It doesn't, I mean, if you live life, I mean, you can live life fast, definitely. And then it's like, okay, but I think life it's a journey. It truly is. And we're meant to take it day by day, and we're meant to slow down and just kind of just enjoy the simple pleasures. Enjoy like waking up and cooking breakfast and having a tea and stretching and going out for a walk and things like that. Like I think we're really meant to just exist. Literally, we're just meant to exist, and we have to pay all these taxes and bills because someone decided that we need to pay to be on this earth. I guess on small daily habits that you can change that can impact your overall routine. Because if you feel like, oh, well, I want to, and I'm going to just use the gym as an example because I feel like it's such an easy example. But if you feel like I want to get a six-pack abs or whatever, or I just want to get a really flat stomach, that's not going to happen overnight. You know, you can't just go from not going to the gym at all to, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm going to completely change my diet. Like sometimes stuff like that doesn't just happen overnight. It's gradual. It's okay, well, maybe instead of eating a bag of chips as a snack, I'm gonna, go in and eat some fruit, or I might eat some carrot sticks or something like that. Instead of always reaching for a soda, I'm gonna maybe, reach for a smoothie or reach for more water, or something like, instead of telling myself I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week, well, maybe what does it look like if I just go to the gym once a week? What does it look like for me to just pack my gym bag or put my gym shoes on, or just like literally small steps that you even think like, oh, that's so easy. Pack my gym bag, put on my gym shoes. That's so easy. Make the tasks so small and easy that you have no choice but to complete them. That is everything that I have for how you're basically gonna make 2026 your biatch. Okay, anything that you want to happen, it can happen. If it happened for others, it can definitely happen for you. Trust in yourself. I'm just gonna assume that was a firework. I'll be hearing all types of noises over here, but trust in yourself, believe in yourself, love yourself, accept yourself. I'm literally just rambling. I don't want to make this outro too long, but that is all I have for you guys today. As always, if you have any suggestions, if you want me to talk about certain things, literally just DM me on Instagram, DM me on TikTok, like, let me know, and I will put the ladies on because we ain't stopping in 2026. 2026 is our year, period.